I have thoughts. This is the last episode of the new releases of 2024, and I have here a lot of fragrances to talk about. This is the third episode I do on the new releases when it comes to niche fragrances. You will find in the description down below a link to my first and second episode, as well as the best and worst releases of 2024. So let's start with no particular order, by the way, with two fragrances from Orman Jane, Bukhara and Kashmir. Both of them are beautiful fragrances. Like from these that I've tested, these are the best. One is masculine and one is feminine. And let's start with the masculine one, which is Kashmir. Actually, it's unisex, but it does lean masculine for me. This is a spicy, ambery, saffron fragrance. This is for saffron lovers. One of the best saffron fragrances I've tested this year, hands down. It has also some coriander and mostly it's woody in the base. So I get cedar, I get a little bit of sandalwood. I also get some cardamom. It's a stunning fragrance. I have no words. Like an elegance in a bottle. It's a fragrance for an elegant man. I absolutely love it and highly recommend it, especially for someone who loves saffron. The next one, oh my god, it's so beautiful, is Bukhara. This is feminine and it is a beautiful floral fragrance. Vanilla, tuberose with some peach note. And to be completely honest, I didn't get peach here. Like I get something a little bit unique and I was like, what is this note that I'm smelling? And I'm not convinced completely actually from Fragrantica that this is peach. There is a note that is extremely intriguing in this one that is so beautiful blended with tuberose and the vanilla. But this is not a fragrance for everyone. You have to test this one. I enjoyed this fragrance. I loved it even wearing it, but it's not a fragrance that I would personally buy as someone who struggles with tuberose. But the scent is like 100% amazing. One of the most elegant, unique, very unique tuberose fragrances. This is much better than Gozu and all these other tuberose fragrances that came out where they were nice, don't get me wrong, and were unique, but like you can't beat Orman Jane when it comes to elegance. Like this brand is for me the next Chanel. Like this elegance, effortlessly chic. I love this brand. I'm totally in love with it. The next one is from Ella K. I was so excited to test this fragrance because it is inspired by Lake Como, which is not far away from where I live. And I love Lake Como. And it is also like the notes were amazing. You have marshmallow, tea note, you have orchid, you have vanilla. So the notes really spoke to me. But this was such a disappointment. I don't know where to begin. Overly synthetic. So in the notes, they mention Ambrofix and an interesting note of sequoia. I don't know. Is it what I am smelling? I'm smelling a mess, headache-inducing synthetic mess. And it is a shame because I love Ella K and I also love the perfumer. Like Sonia Constant is one of my absolute favorite perfumers. But sorry, this one was one of the biggest flops ever this year. Speaking about flops, oh my god, the next one was so bad. I am talking about Parfum de Mali, Palatine, whatever. It's a bad fragrance. I'm sorry. This is a synthetic violet fragrance. Like you can see from my face, I can't hide it. It is a bad fragrance, so bad. And like I was seeing all these reviews and I was like, okay, this is going to be maybe not a fragrance that I would enjoy personally because I'm not a fan of violet. So completely honest, this is not a note that I love. But how can you charge that amount of money for this, I don't know how to describe it, this cheap smelling fragrance? No. This is not recommended at all. And please, even if you love violet, it's not said that you are going to like this fragrance because it is like one of the worst releases from this year. And as I spoke in my Vlogmas about fragrance trends, the trend of this year is extraits. And I have some examples. Let's start with BDK Rouge Smoking Extrait. I have thoughts. Let me put it like that. It's not a bad fragrance. Again, it is a darker, deeper version of Rouge Smoking. So you get the cherry, but you get also the oud. It's more of an ambery experience compared to Rouge Smoking, the original one. But I have issues with it. And my main issue, again, is not mainly the fragrance, but the price tag. The base of this fragrance smells so similar. I want to say identical, but it is similar. I'm talking about the base, not the fragrance as a whole. The base of this one smells identical to Swiss Arabian Sharaf Oud Tonka. They are not similar fragrances by any means, but if you smell the base in that fragrance, it's the same in this one. And the price tag speaks for itself. So I guess if Swiss Arabians decided to go and do a cherry fragrance, it will smell exactly like this one. And it's not a surprise. Swiss Arabian has a very similar fragrance to another one from BDK, which is the one that I talked about, Sharaf Oud Tonka. So not a bad smell, but the price tag for this smell, I have a lot of issues with. And I also don't like the take, like the direction they went with this one. They lost a lot of the cherry in this fragrance. So I don't know. I was not particularly impressed by the scent itself. Again, it's nice. So as a scent, I will give it a 7.5 out of 10, maybe 8. Another very controversial opinion coming right at you. Sora Dora Yulp, how to pronounce it. I was so excited to test this one because I fall in love with Jani, which I already have in my collection. This is how much I loved it. I want to know, people who hype this fragrance, what they are thinking. I can't get the hype at all, in any way, shape or form. And I'm questioned, really, like, how? Let me read you the notes. You have in the top apricot, tea, apple. In the mid you have osmanthus, almond, rosemary. In the base you have sesame, vanilla and Haitian vetiver. In my opinion, what ruins this fragrance is the sesame accord used in this one alongside the vetiver. It has this earthy dirtiness about it. So you have the sweetness, the good sweetness of the apricots, osmanthus, and also apple. But then you have something off-putting, dirty, earthy mixed with it. And the concoction is not good. Not good at all. And it's at the end result is quite synthetic. Like, don't get me wrong, Jani is also quite synthetic. But it's a beautiful fragrance. This one, absolutely not. I saw on Fragrantica people compare it to Amouage Sunshine, and I was like, huh? Where? Like, if it wasn't for the fact that I got this sample from Je Vois, I would have questioned if this is an authentic smell. Like, it is nothing like Amouage Sunshine, and it's definitely not worth the hype, in my opinion. Please don't blind buy this fragrance and don't fall for the hype. Test it and see if you like it or not. Let's talk about another cherry fragrance, and it is from Electimos. This is Caspian Cherry. I was quite excited as I heard someone explain it as an edgy cherry. And I get it, by the way. So I totally agree with this assessment, but a little bit maybe too edgy. Here, what I don't like is the amaretto liquor. I am not a fan of this note, to be honest. So maybe I am biased. This is not a bad cherry fragrance. Actually, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10, which is a lot for a cherry fragrance. But the amaretto note here just has something that bothers me. Is it maybe the accord itself? I don't know. And by the way, both Caspian Cherry and Yulp from Sora Dora smell worse on my skin. So definitely these two fragrances you have to test on your skin, because like the experience, especially with Yulp, oh my god, on my skin it was like this sesame synthetic mess with vetiver came out so bad on my skin, you can't even imagine. So for Caspian Cherry, I would say a good fragrance, but be careful. It's not a safe blind buy. Unless you love amaretto, then I think you will like it. And it is a unique take on the cherry accord. So it's not your cherry pie, you know. It's a little bit different, which I definitely appreciate. Oh, the next one. Again, one of the worst fragrances I have smelled. This is Manatur from the Secret of Love collection from M. Micallef. I know it has patchouli and it's called Manatur and has also lavender, but there are other notes here that you would say, oh, this is quite interesting. So you have honey, you have cinnamon, cashmere, tonka bean, vanilla. So I said, this could be quite an interesting fragrance. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It smells awful. I'm so sorry. So sorry for anyone who loves this fragrance. But for me, it just smells awful. It's dirty. It's off-putting and nauseating. Like I am getting a headache from this fragrance. It's a mess. This is not a well-executed fragrance in any way, shape, or form at all. It is sweet, but there is a lot of patchouli, a lot of earthiness going on, a little bit almost of mintiness, and it is definitely clashing with the rest of the notes, the cinnamon, the honey, like, no. Absolutely to avoid this fragrance. I hate it. And I'm so sorry for anyone who loves it. Let's get to 3 X-rays that were released from Atelier Materi. So we have Ambre Papier, Burgundy Oud, and Neroli Hasbaya. First impression, Neroli Hasbaya would be like the winner. It was a beautiful Neroli. I was like, oh my God, I'm really changing my mind about sweet orange blossom Neroli fragrances. It was sweet, nutty, beautiful opening. Loved it. Maybe for half an hour. After that, I don't know. Like on my skin, this fragrance takes a turn and it smells weird. I don't get the nuttiness anymore. I'm smelling almost like a fragrance that gone bad in a way. It smells really like a little bit of, I have to say, a little bit of bad breath. Sorry, but it was awful. This was my experience. So it may be different on your skin. Like the opening was gorgeous, but try it on. It's just off-putting. Like I will give it a 3. No, if I'm generous, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. When it comes to the dry down, the opening, like till half an hour, for me was 9.5 out of 10. This is how gorgeous it was in the beginning. So please tell me in the comments down below what is your experience with this one, because I have a feeling maybe it is a skin thing. Please tell me in the comments down below. My second favorite one is Ambre Papier, which is a very unisex, soft amber fragrance. Soft in the sense that it's not dense, it's not like Middle Eastern, like very loud. It has quite loud ingredients or notes, but it's not such loud. It's more elegant. You have a beautiful saffron note. Again, you have myrrh, you have benzoin, you have pepper. And I think what makes it leaning masculine is the pepper note. It is a nice fragrance, but it's not wowing me. There is no wow factor in this one at all, but it's nice. Like it's not bad. Is it similar to another fragrance that I've tried? Like this kind of DNA, I am not the best judge of, so I can't tell you. But as a scent itself, I will give it a 7.5 out of 10. Let's get to the last one. It is Burgundy Oud, and can I tell you, this smells like Oud Maracuja from Maison Crivelli, like a fruity, sweet oud fragrance. It is blended with blackcurrant. This, I would say, is the difference between the two. So if you love that one, you will also love this fragrance. However, this kind of DNA is not my thing. So I am giving this one an 8.5 out of 10. Because of the uniqueness, because of the performance, and the scent profile is good. But you have to be an oud lover. It's not an easy, like it's not an extreme oud, but it's not a beginner friendly oud, let's say. Now I saved the 3 most exciting ones for last. Exciting because when Amouage releases a new fragrance, I mean, I'm always excited, even if I don't like the scent, because I can appreciate the craftsmanship, like the quality of Amouage. And I have to say, these proved to me the direction that Amouage is going for, and I'm not liking it, to be honest. Like, I am liking it as a customer because they are more easygoing, so there is more chance for me to like a fragrance, but they lost something that made them special. And I feel like if they wanted to go on that route, they should have made maybe a sister brand, like a lot of brands are doing, that is more easygoing for more maybe younger generations. Because what I love about Amouage is how authentic they are, how they are true to their heritage, aesthetic, everything. These are not, like, I wouldn't say are easygoing fragrances, but for Amouage, they do. And I have to say, I liked two of them very much, like very, very much. The one that I did not like at all is Reasons. Reasons has quite interesting notes. It has hazelnut, pine needle, it has Palo Santo, if I'm not mistaken, Davana, or yeah, something like that. It's too aromatic for my taste, and it has something that bothers me so much that is not like the notes that I have listed. I don't know what it is, can't explain, but I would guess is that it will be a hit, especially for men, because this is for me quite a masculine fragrance. It's not very feminine. And I guess if you love Palo Santo, you may like it, but don't blind buy this one. Like, the notes do not explain to me what I'm smelling. I'm smelling it's almost like you get hit in the back. Like, there is the smell in the front, and then in the back, it's like, bang, you get the hit. It's all, and I can almost feel it in my brain, like it is in the back. Yeah, it sounds strange, but this is how I feel. Like, it is a very strange feeling, and I couldn't wait to scrub it off. It was very irritating for me. Is it a bad fragrance? No, but I feel like it's a personal issue. This is why, I don't know. I can't tell you if I will recommend it or not. What I can tell you is not to blind buy it. Let's get to Outlands. And this is a beautiful ambery vanilla spicy. Like, the spice here are quite a lot. There's Sichuan pepper, there is cardamom, vanilla, and elemi. I'm not a fan of elemi, but I really, really like it in here. Like, this is a beautiful scent. It's so well done. Although, again, not a scent profile that I like, because elemi is not one of my favorite notes. So this is why it's not a fragrance that I would buy. But objectively, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous scent. Quite easygoing for Amouage, I have to say. And because of the overdose of spiciness, it is a fragrance that I would recommend more for men than for women. But it is unisex. Like, I can see women wearing this fragrance, no problem. But if you are less unisex, like less daring a little bit with your fragrances, maybe this is not for you. I would recommend more for women, Lustre. One of the most beautiful myrrh fragrances I have tested, and that says a lot. It has myrrh, it has cardamom. The cardamom here is not like, I saw in Fragrantica people say that they get like a huge dose of cardamom. I'm not getting like I get it, but it's not like really bad in your face. This is why I'm saying this is a little bit more feminine. It's buttery. There's always root in it, which explains this buttery texture I'm getting from this fragrance. It has also a little bit of sandalwood, if I'm not mistaken, and amber. And I can't really categorize it. Is it like woody? Is it spicy? Because if I want to describe it, it will be a woody, ambery, warm, spicy fragrance. That's a bit too long, but it's how I would categorize this fragrance. Like, it takes you on a journey. Sometimes you get this note, sometimes you get the other one, and it was quite pleasant to wear. Currently now in winter, definitely winter fragrance, at least for me. It's really, really a great experience. Like, I loved wearing this one, and people compare it to Santal Blush, and I already tested Santal Blush, but it was quite a while ago, so I can't tell you like 100%, but I don't think that they are really similar fragrances. And it doesn't have the simpleness, easygoing vibes that Santal Blush has. Like, I'm working again from memory, but this is the one that I would say from the 3 that I would highly recommend, because I absolutely love it. I have to say, for all 3 of them, there is a component that I can't explain. It almost feels like there is something that is hitting you in the brain and I can't explain it. And I may seem weird. I'm so curious to know what it is. Anyway, these were all the new releases. I hope you enjoyed this video or you found it helpful. And if you did, I will highly appreciate it if you gave me a thumb up. That will help me a lot. Again, in the playlist, you will find all the previous episodes as well as my 2024 recap series. So if you liked this one, you can binge watch the rest. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao.